Hello, Tyler Tolman again with Conscious Lifestyler, and I just want to talk a little bit about fasting. People ask me all the time, what is a fast? What's a true fast? And they ask me, what about juice fasting, or what about water fasting? And fasting is by far the fastest way to heal the body. And there's different types of fasting, and I want to talk a little bit about these different types of fasting. But fasting is, let's just look at the word. The word fast means to hold strong. It means to strengthen, to fasten something. If you were to fasten something to a wall, you would fasten it, hold it there strong. So to fasten means literally to strengthen the body. There are different kinds of fasting. Some people will, fast from certain foods. Oh, I'm fasting from meat, which means they're not eating meat. Some people will say, I'm on a juice fast, which they're referring to they're actually just drinking juices. And other people say I'm water fasting. Now the true definition of a fast is just drinking water, abstaining from food in general. And juice can be listed as nutrients or food, a life-giving substance. So fasting really is water fasting. And where does water fasting come from? Well, if we observe every other mammal on the planet, every single mammal on the planet, when it gets sick or when it gets injured, will naturally do a water fast. A deer that breaks its leg will go find a stream or somewhere with water and simply drink water and lie down until that leg is healed. And what's interesting is when you relieve the digestive system from constantly having to use 60 to 75% of the body's energy to digest, all that energy is freed up to go throughout the body and heal what is broken. So it's really interesting when you observe in nature that every animal, when it gets sick or when it gets injured, fasts. Maybe we should do the same. So if a human being has diabetes, if a human being is having chronic fatigue, if a human being is having any type of issues where you feel sick, you feel less than optimal, really maybe you should look into doing some short fasts. And now there's a whole other issue of how long should I fast? And if we look into the past, you'll find people like Hippocrates. And Hippocrates would say, better to fast a day than to take a medication or try to do something to heal yourself. So he'd say, look, if you're sick, just fast for a day. And in fact, he would say, to eat while you are sick is to feed your sickness. So very brilliant observations of nature and the things that he was sharing. So really, if you're feeling, nasal, if you're feeling stuff coming on, because this happens to everybody, it doesn't matter how healthy you are, if you're exposed to something toxic in the environment or you eat something that's maybe not so good, even pollution and different things can build up, it's a natural process to have mucus, to get that and kick that stuff out. So you can help it along by simply fasting for a single day. Another thing I'd recommend is maybe going in stints of 7. If you really want to go deep, fast for 7 days. If you want to go really deep, fast for 14 days. Start out with 7. Adjust, day 7, how do I feel? What's going on? What's coming up? Do I feel like I'm getting rid of a lot of toxins? And readjust and kind of look at it and say, should I go another 7 days? Socrates was known to fast for 10 days at a time for optimal well-being. Pythagoras fasted 40 days and 40 nights just before his exam at Alexandria. So different individuals have gone long periods of times, shorter periods of times. It's whatever you're looking for. Now the number 40 is very interesting. In Roman numerals, it's represented by the letters XL. And XL is literally just like the word, to excel. And 40 days was believed, living on water, you would literally cleanse all impurities from the body. That you would literally strip even genetic propensities for disease by cleansing this entire house, this entire temple, by going 40 days and 40 nights on water. Now that's pretty hardcore. And if you feel called to do that, go for it. But I would highly recommend maybe starting off with some other type of fasting. Maybe juice fasting. Now juice fasting is very amazing because we're still taking a whole food. You're taking the fruit, the vegetable, the different thing, and you're compressing and extracting the pure nutrients. Now I talk a lot about the word nutrition. Nutrition, the word nut means light, and ration means process. So nutrition is nothing more, nothing less really than a process of light. So we get out into the sun, and that's a process of light. It's nutritious for our bodies. There are fruits and vegetables that will literally hang up solar panels and collect light. And then they will dangle a different color manifested of that light, an orange or a red apple or different fruits and vegetables that attract us. So we can take that pure form of nutrition and eliminate all of the stuff that the body has to deal with and digest and take the pure form of nutrition. Okay? So that's also juice fasting. You'll still have energy, you'll still feel great, you'll be optimal. I highly recommend balancing it with fruits and vegetables and greens and different things. But juice fasting is a great way to prepare your temple and your body to receive more light, to go to the point of water fasting. So maybe starting out with 7 days of doing juices. Start out with maybe 1 or 2 days of doing juices and see how you feel. Now, I was talking about eliminating all that fiber and stuff. And a lot of people say, well, what about that fiber? The fiber is really good, and why are you juicing? Oh, there's too much sugar. And there's all these questions around juicing. And I really just would like to say that, yes, the fiber is amazing. Eating apples, eating oranges, and having the fibers from these things are really good. They'll clean out, they work like little scrubber brushes going throughout your colon, your whole body, and scrubbing out all of the darkness and all the filth. So yes, fiber from whole foods is good. But at some point, we can get to a stage where we've cleaned ourselves out, eating whole foods, or we're wanting to clean out a little more, and drinking the pure juices and letting the pure juices do what they do without the body having to constantly use that energy for digestion, and it will use that energy for healing and repair. So I hope that makes a lot of sense. I hope I've answered a few of your questions on fasting, and if you have more questions, feel free to send me an email.